debates are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. And no return on this one as the fair catch. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Well, there's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now this time, Tua's going to throw it. Going up top for Kupp. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
An early message that this secondary is going to be tested because even though it fell incomplete, it almost felt like a warning shot to get things going.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Off of play action. Tagovailoa. That'll be complete to Breida. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On first down, here's Breida. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Ball carrier.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. He's going to fire one deep. Middle of the... It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jakeem Grant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaking up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. They go play action with McDonald. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Shaq Lawson able to record his 5th sack of the season.
We talked about it prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
It's now 3rd down and long.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, McDonald. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Alex Anzalone able to get him down for a loss of 11. And it brings up fourth down. Here's the Jets punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. It's taken to the 26. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
Tua going to hand this one to Breida. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third. So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Going up top for Kupp. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Cooper Kupp, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure to just hold in there. Survive the early storm. Relax a little bit and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Here's Coleman now to return. A lane opens here. He's past the 30.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's McDonald. Throw left side, complete. It's Griffin. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here. 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. And a good pickup there. He gets about 6 up to midfield.
Tackle made.
Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
Back at the 46.
Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. After the turnover, it's Tua. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook.
And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Matt Breida with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will make it into the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
To throw again, McDonald. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the... So now they deal with 3rd and 11.
3rd down and 11.
And this now 3rd and 11 after that 2nd down completion actually went back a yard. Operating from the gun, McDonald, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Kyle Van Noy drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. Here's the Jets punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets it away, and it's a laser headed for the sidelines. So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it could be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. 21-0 our score after one. On 2nd down, Tua. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards.
Dolphin 1st down.
Yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Tackle made at the
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 33. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
This offense continues to be a hot knife through butter. 3 drives, 3 scores, and knocking on the door again on drive number 4. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. Jakeem Grant. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. So the touchdown there, and that play, the tap pass, so simple, Charles, on the face of it, but what makes it so difficult for defenses to stop?
I think it's the precision and the quickness in which the play occurs, because the snap gets to the quarterback. He's essentially playing volleyball with it, just immediately just shoveling it forward. And when that receiver is at a full head of steam, if you don't take the edge away, he's got a chance to get to the corner and get upfield. But if you take the edge away, that's your chance to disrupt that play.
And no disruption there, that's for sure, as it winds up 6 points.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Brings up 3rd and 12.
I got you. Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Not below 18.
From the gun, McDonald. Looking for Perriman, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
This is Breida. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Tua. And he'll go underneath here to Breida. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 16 yards, a 1st down.
A gain of 16 yards.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stump that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On play action, here's Tua. Out to his left. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bresson Austin. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line.
Well, when he feels the pressure, naturally he likes going to his left, as most left-handed quarterbacks do. But this time he tries to let this go on the run, and it's going to wind up getting intercepted.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And in a spot like this, still more than a minute, I think if you put something on the board before halftime, that would go a long way towards helping them get back into the game.
There actually is something to the psychology of the game at times, isn't there? How much better would they feel running into the locker room, as you noted, with something on the board in a positive fashion? You're exactly right. It's a great opportunity to get that done.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun. McDonald. And this will be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They run with Washington. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
4th down.
They'll run. It's Washington. And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. This will make it into the end zone. And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
He was trying to get it to Denzel Mims that time, and it's 3rd down.
Byron Jones on the coverage.
Play action. It's McDonald. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. We talk a lot about setting the tone to start the game. Well, you want to start the tone right in the 3rd quarter as well, and nearly lost a football there in their first drive.
And sometimes we overdo it when we talk about halftime adjustments and what teams are going to do. Most of the time, it's just a matter of executing the game plan you brought in But I'll guarantee you, they didn't draw that play up on the whiteboard at halftime. They're fortunate to retain possession.
He's going to look deep for Perriman. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Rashad Perriman, 87 yards. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. That certainly went against the traditional ways of playing football, but who cares? Look at the result. Big touchdown.
They went for it on their own side of the 50. So there's conservative, there's aggressive, and there's really aggressive, which is what we just saw there. Tip of the cap to them.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I'm getting a sense that the momentum of this game is changing since the break. Nice play there, and this D is fired up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Tua with a quick throw, caught out wide. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
They'll set up a screen for Breida. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Complete.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
On first down, Tagovailoa. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. And some room to maneuver.
That's just the start, baby!
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 39 yards there, a big one.
Now, that's the kind of run that fires up an entire team. Tackled at the 2-yard line. For the defensive guys, a little bit of a sigh of relief, though, that they stopped him short of the goal line. Now they got to figure out how to shore up the rest of the defense.
They'll try to run with Breida. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Matt Breida with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. He had the option to hand that football off. I think it's safe to say that he made the right decision. That was a heck of a run.
It certainly was. And when you mentioned the option, most people think the quarterback's not going to keep the ball. You know, in the NFL, that's usually not the recipe for being around too long. So when you do keep it, it often surprises the heck out of a defense.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
6-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Shaq Lawson, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing. Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Now this will make it into the end zone. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line. So bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision. Loses him about 4 yards. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. We were down there. That message would have been received a whole different way because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
55 is Mike, 55.
Throwing again. McDonald. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
On 3rd down, McDonald, he'll air this one out for Mims. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down? And now again, the play clock's going to run out on him. So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's caught by Herndon. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process.
At the 38-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, McDonald. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Vincent Smith, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
No gain on the play.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down. That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play. With the
Dolphins on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run with Geis. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His 2nd goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
2 yards on the
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
55, Mike, guys, 55.
To throw on 2nd down. McDonald looking for Perriman there. He's got him. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all, but the teammates, the other guy.
And now on the pitch, the ball's loose.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
On first, here's Washington. This time able to hold on to the football, but not much room to run.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's McDonald to throw. And he can't hang on to it, and the screen never got started.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
The Jets on 3rd down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. A quick toss out right, and he's going to be marked down short of the first down. Needed the 40, but he's a yard or 2 shy. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
It's 4th down.
On 4th down, McDonald, and they're going to try the screen. It's complete.
That's all you got!
And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Kevin Coleman, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are able to strike for 6.
Extra point.
Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And now off to the races down the right side. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? And looked like some movement there. Let's get the call. That's going to set him back 5 yards. They're still going to go for it on 4th and goal even after the penalty. No sign of the field goal team. And they take a knee. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Throwing is McDonald. Smith catches left side. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Operating from the gun, McDonald. Now a desperation throw deep down. He's got a man complete.
They're not even trying
he's
to do
in.
anything.
Touchdown, Jets. Denzel Mims, 88 yards. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this team continues to stake its claim as Super Bowl favorites. They are now eyeing an 8th straight win as they begin this drive here in the 4th quarter. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Now they try the right side here. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. This effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 20-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Mikel Roby-Coleman. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Intercepted.
Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. They go counter with Breida. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
A gain of 18 on the play. And the Dolphin first down. Tonight's final score.